wild kingdom spanning nearly 20,000 square kilometers. A biological arena stretching across South Africa. A thrilling nature-animal documentary. This is Kruger National Park. Who is the true ruler of this realm? Leave a comment below and join us. Lions versus baboons. Kruger's savage survival battle. Kruger unveils its most ancient geological forces in the southwest, the Granite Hills and Skukuza thickets. The foundation of this region is grey granite bedrock, formed from molten magma over 3 billion years ago. Through millennia of erosion, they have created copies. Isolated rock hills rising from a sea of trees. Here, the average annual rainfall reaches about 550 to 600 millimeters, significantly higher than in other parts of the park. This abundant water source sustains a dense and complex broad-leaved woodland ecosystem. Visibility here is severely restricted, often less than 50 meters. For herbivores, this is a nightmare, as predators can be lurking anywhere. The lion fully exploits the topographical gift bestowed by nature. Tall thickets allow them to slip effortlessly into stealth mode. The prey is now within sight, an unsuspecting impala. The hunt commences with the lithe movements of the lionesses. They utilize every tree trunk to conceal their 130-kilogram frames. The gap narrows, 30 meters, 20 meters. Just a few more steps and the hunt will erupt. But high atop a towering marula tree, an observer is silently watching. The baboon. Keen eyesight, comparable to a human's, helps them spot the lion's tawny coat amidst the dry grass. The very moment the lioness prepares to strike, an ear-piercing shriek rings out. The signature alarm call of the alpha male baboon. And the impala understands perfectly the message conveyed in that grating sound. Death is near. It acts immediately, as if by pre-programmed instinct. The element of surprise, the lion's most vital weapon, has been completely destroyed. Resentment for the spoilers surges, the hunt fails, energy is wasted, and stomachs remain empty. This debt must be repaid. But the baboon is not easily subdued. They are among the most cunning animals in Kruger. They live in large troops, sometimes numbering over 100 members. They select the highest vantage points on trees or granite outcrops to survey the entire valley. No movement of a predator can escape this early warning system. Even the kings and queens of the grassland are rendered helpless. Will the lions manage to exact their revenge? Leave your predictions below and keep watching to find the answer. This is not the first time the baboon has rescued the impala from the claws of a predator. Their peculiar relationship has baffled biologists for decades. They term this relationship frenemies, part friend, part foe. The impala possesses a hypersensitive sense of smell and hearing. They unmask predators in the bush by detecting footsteps or scents carried on the breeze. In return, the baboon compensates for the antelope's visual shortcomings with its ability to observe from high vantage points. Together, they form a flawless security system with 0 blind spots. If either species emits an alarm call, the other flees instantly without need for verification. This collaboration significantly reduces predation rates by lions and leopards. Baboons and impalas also share dietary benefits. While foraging for figs or marula fruit in the trees, baboons inadvertently drop ample fruit, fresh leaves, and branches to the ground. The impala benefits directly from this rain of food. They gain access to nutritional sources that are usually beyond their reach. However, the dynamic shifts when the impala enters the birthing season. As opportunistic omnivores, baboons do not overlook vulnerable impala fawns. The gentle herbivores are rendered utterly helpless against the 5-centimeter canines of the alpha male. It is a brutal cost-benefit analysis that the impala accepts. Alone, the entire impala herd could be wiped out by lions or leopards. Accompanied by baboons, they are shielded from apex predators. The lost fawns are a small blood tax they are forced to pay. Not every antelope species is brave enough to join the noisy alliance with the baboon. Unlike the impala, the bushbuck chooses a solitary existence. They also frequently trail monkey troops to pick up fallen fruit, but they always maintain their distance, ready to flee at a moment's notice. Sometimes, aggressive baboons will descend to the ground, chasing off the bushbuck to reclaim a tasty morsel. The bushbuck's defining characteristic is its peculiar gait. The hind legs are longer than the forelegs, causing the rump to be raised higher than the shoulders. This anatomy earns them the nickname the hunchback. This hunched posture allows the bushbuck to duck and weave through dense thorn thickets at high speed. When pursued, the bushbuck plunges headlong into the densest vegetation where larger predators cannot squeeze through. The dark brown coat of the male, or reddish-brown of the female, is adorned with white spots and vertical stripes. Under the dappled sunlight filtering through the riverine forest canopy, these patterns break up their body outline, rendering them invisible. Though shy, bushbucks are formidable warriors when cornered. Males possess spiraled, razor-sharp horns measuring about 50 centimeters. That weapon can take down even a leopard in mortal combat. Bushbucks are also accomplished swimmers. The river is their method of shaking off persistent pursuers like lions or baboons. They navigate long stretches of water to move between isolated islands that other species cannot reach. Sometimes, the most elusive creatures are the ones that endure the longest in Kruger. But escaping from agile and versatile opportunists like the baboon is no easy feat. The vervet monkey, a diminutive yet cheeky cousin, has accepted life in the shadow of the giant baboons. As night falls, primates must seek sleeping quarters high in the trees to evade predators. The baboon, with superior strength, always claims the highest, safest, and sturdiest branches. They relegate the vervets to the lower or more fragile branches at the fringes of the canopy. Inadvertently, the vervet monkey becomes a living shield for the baboon. If a leopard attacks in the night, the vervet monkey serves as the first line of defense. This buys the baboon time to escape or counterattack. Despite such subordination, the vervet monkey thrives thanks to its social intelligence. They live within a strict matriarchal society. Females remain in their natal troop for life, while males must emigrate upon reaching maturity. Young females help care for and cradle the infants of higher-ranking females. This is how they gain experience and forge alliances. This is their characteristic allomothering behavior. But the vervet monkey is also notorious for vices that are remarkably human. In areas near the Skukuza rest camp, they have acquired the habit of pilfering food from tourists. They know how to unzip tents, open trash can lids, and identify food packaging. Some studies even indicate that vervet monkeys have a tendency toward alcoholism. They frequently steal alcoholic beverages from visitors or consume fermented fruit to seek a buzz. About 20% of the troop prefers alcohol over sweet water, if given the choice. If the Kruger ecosystem were a movie, this monkey would likely be the lovable comic relief villain, rather than the brutal antagonist like the baboon. If you were an animal forced to coexist with baboons, would you adopt the tactics of the bushbuck, the vervet monkey, or the impala? Leave your answer in the comment section below. They are ruthless even towards their own kind. Baboon society is a volatile dictatorship. The alpha position brings ultimate power. The right to mate with all females and exclusive access to the choicest food. But the crown always comes with a heavy burden. The alpha male must constantly face the immigrants. These are young, vigorous males transferring from other troops in search of social advancement. They bring fresh blood and the ambition to topple the old order. The baboons' weaponry in these civil wars consists of barks. To secure the throne, the aging alpha forms coalitions with other older males in the troop. They join forces to gang up on any young upstart daring to challenge their authority. But when cornered, they resort to clutching an infant to their chest as a living shield. A somewhat cowardly tactic that forces the opponent to hesitate. If the infant is harmed, the entire female troop will inevitably erupt in rage and attack. Furthermore, the role of the kingmaker is crucial. These are often high-ranking females within the troop. They can incite other females to ostracize and harass the new male, ensuring the usurper cannot rule in peace. Baboon society resembles a Shakespearean drama in the bush, where conspiracy, betrayal, and violence play out daily beneath the African sun. The baboon's most dreaded enemy lurks amidst that scorching sun, the leopard. This fear is so profound that merely catching the scent of a leopard's urine causes stress hormone levels in the baboon's blood to instantly skyrocket. This is a feud etched into the genetic code of both species over millions of years of evolution. To counter these cunning primate troops, the leopard has evolved into the ultimate assassination machine. Their coat is a masterpiece of disruptive camouflage. The rosettes break up their body outline, helping them blend seamlessly into the dappled light beneath the dense marula canopy. Their foot anatomy, featuring thick pads, dampens sound, allowing them to approach targets within a 5-meter range. The war between leopard and baboon hinges entirely on the time of day. Twilight marks the moment death comes knocking. The leopard, with superior night vision and climbing prowess, becomes the arbiter of life and death. With immense shoulder and neck strength, they silently ascend the high trees where the monkey troop sleeps. A precise bite to the nape serves to sever the spinal cord or crush the windpipe. In the darkness, the baboon is rendered completely defenseless and panicked. But as the sun rises, the balance of power tips. Daylight brings the hour of retribution. Upon spotting a leopard moving on the ground, the baboon does not flee. Under the command of the alpha male, the entire troop initiates mobbing mode. The largest males form a semicircle, cutting off the leopard's escape route. The long canines of a male baboon can inflict fatal wounds. For a solitary species like the leopard, an injury is synonymous with an inability to hunt and subsequent starvation. Pride matters less than life and the future. They accept retreat. The image of the King of Shadows fleeing from his own prey is the clearest testament to the power of unity. In Kruger, no one is invincible. Even the leopard must bow to the strength of the troop when sunlight prevails. Leaving the western Granite hills behind, we venture toward the southeast of Kruger. The terrain shifts abruptly into flat basalt plains, stretching to the very horizon. Fertile soil derived from ancient lava nourishes the most nutritious sweetgrass in the park. This serves as a magnet, attracting massive herds of herbivores: zebra, wildebeest, and buffalo. And naturally, wherever there is prey, there are the rulers. Returning to familiar territory allows the pride to quickly move past the failed impala hunt. To sustain an extended family of 15 members, they require a more substantial yield of meat. The blue wildebeest is a formidable option. But the wildebeest is no easy quarry. They are medium-weight tanks, weighing up to 250 kilograms, possessing seemingly limitless stamina and sharp, curved horns. In Lower Sabi, the wildebeest do not undertake the Great Migration as seen in the Serengeti. They remain resident year-round, forming stable and highly vigilant populations. The lion's tactic for hunting wildebeest is a textbook military lesson. The pincer movement, encirclement. The lionesses split into 2 distinct groups. The first group acts as the wings, or drivers. They reveal themselves openly, moving upwind so the wildebeest herd can see and catch their scent. Their objective is to sow fear, funneling the prey toward a predetermined direction. The second group is the centers, or ambushes. These are the most seasoned hunters, having silently concealed themselves in the thickets directly in the prey's flight path. As the wildebeest herd flees in panic from the drivers, they unwittingly sprint straight into a death trap. The impact occurs in a split second. Lionesses burst from the bush, targeting individuals on the fringe. One lioness leaps onto the back to bite the spine, while another clamps onto the throat from below. The hunt concludes. The life of one wildebeest has been exchanged for the survival of the entire pride for the next 2 days. The dominant male lion typically remains on the sidelines, observing the lioness's pursuit of wildebeest. Weighing up to 200 kilograms and sporting a voluminous mane, they are simply too massive and conspicuous to participate in ambushes requiring stealth. Their primary mandate is territorial defense, and only when the target is the Cape buffalo do the kings personally enter the fray. In Lower Sabi, Cape buffalo congregate in massive herds, numbering in the hundreds. They are mobile fortresses, sullen, obstinate, and extremely aggressive. To take down a near-ton buffalo, lions cannot rely on speed. They employ the tactic of siege and attrition. Rock hard, boss. If the herd returns to the rescue, the lions are forced to flee. But if the buffalo is abandoned, its fate is sealed. As the exhausted buffalo collapses, the male lion applies his full jaw strength to execute a muzzle clamp, cutting off the animal's airway. It can take up to 20 agonizing minutes for a buffalo to die of suffocation. This is a brutal, bloody, and unforgiving war, where only absolute power secures victory. The lion and the Cape buffalo, which is the most fearsome beast in Kruger in your opinion? Share your answer with us in the comments section below. As the giants, now sated, retire to the shade to rest, the feast of the white-backed vulture begins. This is the most abundant vulture species in Kruger. They are nature's professional sanitation crew. Hundreds of vultures descend upon the buffalo carcass, creating a chaotic spectacle known as a feeding frenzy. The white-backed vulture possesses a long, featherless neck. This allows them to plunge deep into the bloody abdominal cavity to consume organs without soiling their plumage, thereby avoiding the risk of infection. Their tongue features a specialized structure with backward-facing grooves, acting like a rasp to strip meat from bone at breakneck speed. In mere minutes, a buffalo carcass weighing hundreds of kilograms can be picked clean, leaving behind only a stark white skeleton. The vulture's digestive system is a chemical reactor. Their stomach acid is potent enough to destroy anthrax and cholera bacteria. They are the final line of defense, preventing pathogens from contaminating water sources and the soil. However, the fate of this bird in Kruger hangs by a thread. Rhino and elephant poaching has indirectly decimated them. Poachers often lace carcasses with poison to kill the vultures, intending to prevent them from circling overhead and alerting rangers to their location. Every time a flock of vultures perishes, the Kruger ecosystem loses a vital link in the recycling of life. As the sun dips below the horizon, turning the Lower Sabi grasslands a blazing gold, the lion pride returns to its social rhythm. Unlike all other solitary felids, the lion is an extremely social species. The core of a pride is the sisterhood. These are females related by blood, grandmothers, mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunts. They live together, hunt together, and raise cubs together within the same territory for life. Females in the pride often go into estrus and give birth simultaneously. This allows them to communally raise the litter of cubs. This solidarity boosts the survival rate of cubs against external threats. When the patrolling males return, a special ritual takes place. The greeting ceremony. They rub heads and cheeks against one another, intertwining bodies. This is how they exchange scents from facial glands, reinforcing family bonds and reaffirming status within the pride. Male lions in Kruger often form male coalitions. These are typically blood brothers who grew up together and rule together. A coalition of 2 to 3 males is far more formidable than a lone individual, helping them maintain territorial tenure longer against challengers. And as night falls, the most commanding sound of Africa rings out. The roar, the structure of flat, square vocal folds allows lions to produce high-intensity sound with minimal effort. The roar can travel up to 8 kilometers, carrying 2 vital messages. First is location. This is how pride members recognize one another, and second is warning. Based on the intensity and number of responding roars, lions can assess the numbers of the enemy. From there, they make the decision to attack or defend. But the war in Lower Sabi revolves not merely around power, but around personal vendettas. Lions have never forgotten those who sabotaged their hunt. The baboon. The dynamic between these two species transcends the standard laws of the food chain. Lions often kill baboons but do not consume them, or consume very little. This act of killing bears the distinct mark of punishment and the elimination of a nuisance. The baboon is well aware of this. When perched on high trees or cliffs, they are safe and frequently taunt and scream to provoke the lions. But lions are master strategists. They know the baboon's weakness lies in curiosity and the overconfidence of the alpha males. The lion's tactic is the decoy. A single lioness reveals herself, feigning a solitary wander or resting wearily beneath a tree. Seeing a solitary enemy, the baboon's bullying instinct is triggered. The alpha male, seeking to assert dominance before the female troop, descends low or even hits the ground to threaten the lion. Unbeknownst to the baboon, other lions lie in ambush within the surrounding thickets, forming a tight encirclement. The baboon is agile, but the blood-curdling screams of the male baboon serve as a grim lesson for the entire troop, trembling in the trees. Never trifle with the king when your feet touch the ground. The vengeance is complete, reaffirming the absolute supremacy of the lion on the Lower Sabi plains. Are you more impressed by the combat tactics of the lion or the baboon? Leave a comment below and let's see how many people share your view. Heading toward the heart of Kruger lies the vast Satara plains. Here, the soil is more arid, with grass growing short and sparse. Visibility opens up to the absolute maximum, stretching to the very horizon. This terrain transforms Satara into a colossal racetrack. Here, there is no room for stealthy ambushes. Survival in Satara hinges on a single factor: speed. This is the domain of the Dark Continent's fastest sprinters. The uncrowned king of speed at Satara is the Cheetah. Their body is an aerodynamic masterpiece, optimized down to the millimeter for slicing through the wind. An ultra-lightweight skeleton and a deep chest housing a massive heart and lungs to pump maximum oxygen. Enlarged nostrils facilitate rapid air intake even while sprinting at high velocity. All these features allow the cheetah to accelerate from 0 to 112 kilometers per hour in a mere 3 seconds. This acceleration outperforms any man-made sports supercar. At top speed, their stride measures up to 7 meters. During each stride, there are moments when all 4 paws leave the ground, making them appear to be flying through the air. To maintain traction at high speeds, the cheetah possesses a trait unique among felids. Their claws cannot fully retract. They remain exposed, acting like the spikes on a sprinter's shoes to generate grip and propulsion. The long, heavy tail acts as a rudder, acting as a counterbalance during sharp turns in pursuit of prey. On the face, 2 black streaks running from the inner corners of the eyes to the mouth are known as tear marks. They are not for decoration, but function like built-in sunglasses, absorbing sunlight to reduce glare during daytime hunts. However, the cheetah's life is a cruel trade-off. For speed, they must sacrifice combat strength. Their slender frame makes them the most vulnerable among the large predators. They are frequently robbed of their kills by lions and hyenas, or even killed themselves. The cheetah's social life also holds fascinating paradoxes. Females lead a solitary existence, roaming vast home ranges in search of prey and avoiding enemies. Conversely, males often form groups called coalitions, typically composed of blood brothers. This alliance helps them defend smaller but richer territories and increases access to mates. In Kruger, the cheetah population faces immense pressure. The rising numbers of lions and hyenas in Satara are causing the living space of this living race car to shrink. They are ghosts of speed racing against extinction. If the cheetah is the king of speed among predators, then the common sasabi is the champion among the prey. This is the fastest antelope in Africa. They can reach maximum speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour. Although slightly slower than the cheetah in short bursts, the sasabi possesses a secret weapon: stamina. The cheetah can only maintain top speed for about 300 meters before its body overheats. The sasabi is different. They can sustain high speeds over distances of several kilometers. If the sasabi survives the first 20 seconds of the chase, victory is all but guaranteed. The sasabi's physique appears somewhat peculiar, with high shoulders and a sloping back. But this design optimizes kinetic energy during a full gallop. Their coat is a deep reddish-brown with a characteristic purple sheen, helping them stand out under the Satara sun. Sasabi are also intelligent strategists. They have a habit of standing on high termite mounds to observe. This vantage point gives them a commanding view, allowing them to detect predators from a vast distance amidst the sea of grass. This behavior is also a signal, a display of fitness and vigilance. When detecting a cheetah, the tsessebe usually does not flee immediately. They stand their ground, snorting or shaking their heads as if to warn the enemy not to waste energy on them. This confidence is well-founded. Only inexperienced or desperate cheetahs dare to chase a mature tsessebe that is already on high alert. In Kruger, tsessebe numbers are at an alarming level. Though common elsewhere, here they face fierce competition for food sources from other antelopes and zebras. Satara remains one of the last strongholds where visitors can witness a Formula One race between the two fastest animals of the Dark Continent. Slipping amidst the high-speed races is a diminutive but highly calculating figure, the black-backed jackal. This is one of the world's most ancient wild canines, having existed almost unchanged for the past 2 million years. Their longevity stems from adaptability and an audacity that borders on brazenness. The black-backed jackal is neither the fastest runner nor the strongest. They are master opportunists. At Satara, jackals frequently shadow the cheetah. They know that cheetahs are expert hunters, but are notoriously weak at defending their spoils. When the cheetah has just taken down prey and is panting from exhaustion, the jackal will dash in. They do not steal the entire kill, but swiftly snatch a choice morsel before fleeing. Their agility and nimbleness allow them to dodge the feeble swipes of the exhausted cat. But this relationship is not always hostile. The jackal's alarm call when detecting lions also helps the cheetah stay alert and escape in time. An admirable trait of the jackal is their fidelity. Jackal pairs bond for life, defending territory and raising offspring together. The seamless coordination between husband and wife helps them hunt prey larger than their body size, such as impala lambs. One will distract the mother antelope, while the other rushes in to attack the young. Intelligent, cunning, and resilient. The black-backed jackal is proof that size isn't everything in the battle for survival. Intellect and the bond between individuals can become surprisingly effective weapons. Satara is also the primary stage for the most efficient predator in Africa, the African wild dog. With their unique mottled coat of black, gold, and white, they appear as running works of art. The hunting success rate of the African wild dog soars to 80%, a figure that makes even the king of the savanna, the lion, envious, given their own success rate hovers around merely 30%. Their secret lies in stamina and military-grade discipline. Wild dogs hunt using long-distance pursuit tactics. They can sustain a velocity of 60 kilometers per hour for 5 to 10 kilometers without decelerating. When targeting prey, the pack deploys and rotates the lead position. The prey is never granted a single second of rest, eventually collapsing from exhaustion and heat shock before being caught. But what makes the wild dog distinct in Kruger is not their killing prowess, but their compassion. Their society is extremely humane and cohesive. Upon returning from a hunt, healthy members perform regurgitation to feed those remaining at the den. Priority for feeding is not given to the alpha, but to the pups. They even sustain the elderly, the sick, or those with missing limbs for years. No member is left behind. The wild dog also exhibits a peculiar form of democracy. Before a hunt, the pack gathers to perform a social ritual. They cast votes by sneezing. If the number of sneezes reaches a sufficient threshold, about 10 sneezes, the pack rises in unison to set off. However, if the alpha pair initiates the rally, only 3 sneezes are required. Yet, in Kruger, wild dog numbers are in severe decline. They are listed as endangered by the IUCN. The vast home ranges required for hunting frequently bring them into conflict with lions and humans at the park's fringes. Every remaining wild dog pack at Satara is a living treasure of unity and biological efficiency. Amidst the herds of ungulates, a bizarre creature with massive 2-toed feet is striding. The ostrich, the largest and heaviest bird on the planet. They are flightless, yet nature has compensated them with phenomenal running abilities. The ostrich is a direct descendant of the theropod dinosaurs. Their legs are a mechanical marvel. The tendons act like coiled springs storing elastic energy, allowing them to sprint at speeds of 70 kilometers per hour. Each stride measures up to 5 meters, helping them cover ground at breakneck speed. The ostrich foot possesses only 2 toes, whereas other birds have 3 or 4. The massive inner toe supports the entire body weight, equipped with a dagger-like claw measuring up to 10 centimeters. This is their most formidable defensive weapon. A single forward kick from an ostrich packs a force of up to 2,000 pounds per square inch. It is powerful enough to shatter a lion's skull or disembowel an enemy in a single blow. At Satara, ostriches often mingle with zebras and antelope. Standing up to 2.5 meters tall with acute vision, they act as mobile watchtowers. The ostrich's digestive system is also truly unique. Lacking teeth for chewing, they swallow pebbles and stones into their gizzard. These stones function as a grinder, crushing hard and fibrous vegetation. An adult ostrich can carry up to 1 kilogram of stones in its stomach. During the breeding season, the male performs a mesmerizing courtship dance known as cantling. He kneels, spreads his black and white wings, and sways his bright red neck to entice the female. Yet this romantic performance is sometimes ruined by the myopic black rhino, creating tragicomic situations on the plains. Against the azure skies of Satara, streaks of vibrant carmine and turquoise dart past like arrows. The southern carmine bee-eater. These are summer migrants, bringing resplendent beauty to the arid grasslands. They are masterful aerial predators. Their primary diet consists of bees, insects, and flying beetles. The southern carmine bee-eater has developed a fascinating symbiotic relationship with the grassland's largest birds, the Cory bustard and the ostrich. One often sees the southern carmine bee-eater perching on the backs of these giants. This is not merely a joyride. As the Cory bustard or ostrich strides through the tall grass, they flush out insects into the air. From the mobile launch pad on the host's back, the bee-eater swoops out to snatch prey and returns to its position. This behavior helps them conserve energy spent on aerial foraging. The agility and acrobatic skills of the southern carmine bee-eater are an artistic spectacle. They can catch a bee mid-flight, return to a branch, and bash the prey against the wood to remove the venomous stinger before swallowing. Unlike many birds that build nests in trees, southern carmine bee-eaters are tunneling engineers. They congregate in massive colonies numbering in the thousands along riverbanks or vertical cliffs. They use their beaks and feet to excavate tunnels up to 1 to 2 meters deep into the earth to nest and lay eggs. The sight of thousands of vibrant pink birds flying in and out of their nests creates a vivid and cacophonous tableau. It is one of the most spectacular sights of the Kruger summer. Finally, a peculiar creature with an aristocratic air strides with authority across the Satara plains. The secretary bird, a specialized snake-eating avian. Its name derives from the crest of black quill-like feathers projecting from behind its head, resembling the quill pens tucked behind the ears of 19th century European secretaries. Despite possessing a broad wingspan and the flight capabilities of an eagle, the secretary bird prefers a terrestrial lifestyle. They can trek up to 20 to 30 kilometers daily in search of prey. Their diet consists of insects, lizards, rodents, and notably, venomous snakes. In Satara, home to dangerous serpents like cobras and puff adders, the secretary bird is the apex natural enemy. Their weapon is not the beak, but their interminably long legs. These legs are, in essence, armored hydraulic pistons. The shanks are clad in thick, hard scales, protecting them from venomous strikes should the snake counterattack. Upon spotting a target, the secretary bird delivers kicks with terrifying precision and velocity. The contact time of the kick is a mere 15 milliseconds, 10 times faster than the blink of a human eye. The impact force is 5 times the bird's body weight, sufficient to shatter the skull or snap the snake's spine instantly. They also utilize their broad wings as a shield to distract and deflect the snake's strikes. Another intelligent hunting strategy of the secretary bird is hunting at the fire line. During the dry season, as natural fires sweep across the grasslands, the secretary bird waits at the flame's edge. They snatch small animals fleeing in panic from the blaze. Though a symbol featured on the South African coat of arms representing protection and vigilance, secretary bird numbers are dwindling. They are classified as endangered globally. The loss of grassland habitat is the greatest threat to these flamboyant karate fighters. 4. The bush elephant and the river of giants. Leaving far behind the arid plains of Satara, we seek the source of life, Kruger's intricate network of rivers, the Sabi, the Oliphants, and the Luvuvu. These are the green lifelines amidst the scorching cauldron. But these cooling waters are not for the weak. This is the domain of the heavyweights, where weight is measured in tons and strength is gauged by destruction. One of them is the African bush elephant. Kruger stands as one of the last and greatest strongholds for this species on Earth. Weighing 6 tons and standing 4 meters tall, they are mobile fortresses with no natural predators. The ecological role of the elephant is that of a keystone species, architects of the environment. As herds move through riverine forests, they function as biological bulldozers. They topple trees, snap massive branches, and trample thickets. This action prevents canopy closure, maintaining open corridors for antelope and zebra to access water sources. During the dry season, Elephants use their tusks and trunks to dig elephant wells in dry riverbeds. These water holes sustain the entire ecosystem when surface water vanishes. Elephants possess emotional intelligence and a social structure of the highest complexity. They live in a matriarchal society, led by the oldest female. The elephant brain features highly developed temporal lobes, the storage center for long-term memory. The matriarch recalls the exact location of water sources from decades past, guiding the herd through historic droughts. However, in Kruger, the success of the elephant is becoming a conundrum. Overpopulation. Elephant numbers in Kruger have exceeded 20,000 individuals, far surpassing the environment's carrying capacity. Such extreme density prevents vegetation from recovering. Ancient baobab trees thousands of years old and marula forests are being severely devastated by elephants seeking water and bark. This is an agonizing conservation paradox. When a species is protected too successfully, it can become a threat to its own habitat. Yet, witnessing a herd majestically descend to the Sabi River, spraying water in the sunset, one cannot help but be overwhelmed by the grandeur of nature. Sharing the river with the elephant is a boisterous and surly neighbor, the hippopotamus. They are often misunderstood as slow, docile creatures due to their rotund appearance. However, in reality, the hippo is the deadliest large mammal in Africa. They possess ivory canines up to 50 centimeters long, razor-sharp, and featuring a self-sharpening mechanism. The hippo's bite force reaches 2,000 pounds per square inch, sufficient to snap a crocodile in half or crush a small boat. The hippo's body is a marvel of aquatic adaptation. Their skin is extremely sensitive and hairless, highly prone to sunburn and dehydration. For protection, their bodies secrete a red mucus fluid, often mistaken for blood. In reality, these are hipposudoric and norhipposudoric acids. They act as a high-grade natural sunscreen, absorbing UV rays and possessing powerful antibacterial properties. They help wounds heal quickly in dirty water environments. A fascinating fact few people know: hippos cannot swim. Their bodies are too dense and heavy due to solid bones, causing them to sink in water. Instead, they walk or gallop along the riverbed. They propel themselves to the surface to breathe and then sink back down, a process that is automated even while sleeping. The hippo's role in the river is critically important. At night, they emerge to graze, consuming up to 40 kilograms of vegetation. By day, they return to the water and deposit massive amounts of dung. This action helps transfer nutrients from the land to the riverbed, nourishing plankton and fish populations. However, the relationship between hippos and elephants is a tense rivalry. Hippos are highly territorial underwater, but the elephant is simply too massive to be bullied. When elephants descend to drink, hippos often choose a tactical retreat, ceding space to the stronger giant. In Kruger, the greatest threat to hippos is not predators, but drought. When rivers dry up, they are forced into cramped, stagnant pools. This leads to the rapid spread of anthrax bacteria, which can kill hundreds of hippos in a single season. Camouflaged beneath layers of duckweed and mud lies the true king of the subaquatic world, the Nile crocodile. Kruger is home to the largest crocodiles in South Africa. with some individuals reaching lengths of up to 5 meters. They are the embodiment of predatory perfection, their anatomy remaining virtually unchanged for the past 200 million years. Their ultimate weapon is their bite. The measured bite force reaches 3,700 pounds per square inch, PSI, the strongest in the modern animal kingdom. The conical tooth structure allows them to grip prey tightly, ensuring no escape. Unable to chew, the crocodile employs the death roll technique. They clamp onto their prey and spin their bodies underwater to rip off large chunks of flesh. Crocodiles possess the extraordinary metabolism of an ectotherm. An adult crocodile, after a substantial meal, can go without food for months or even an entire year. They lie motionless, slowing their heart rate to the bare minimum, awaiting the next opportunity. However, the crocodile population in Kruger is facing a mysterious disease. Pansteatitis, yellow fat disease. The cause stems from water pollution and a shift in the food chain involving the consumption of toxic catfish. The crocodile's fat layer hardens, causing agony and restricting mobility, leading to mass die-offs in the Oliphant's gorge. The relationship between the crocodile and the hippo is a fragile truce. They often bask side by side in peace. Observers have even witnessed baby crocodiles climbing onto a hippo's back to bask, though this is rare and risky. But this peace is merely superficial. Crocodiles are always stalking straying hippo calves, and the mother hippo is ready to snap in two any crocodile that approaches her offspring. Furthermore, crocodiles know how to exploit the presence of other species to hunt. They often glide silently near moving hippos or Goliath herons. The water disturbance caused by these giants flushes out panicked small fish, and the crocodile simply waits with open jaws. Intelligent, patient, and ruthless, the Nile crocodile is the embodiment of the most primal fear in Kruger. In the shadows of the riverine vegetation, an agile creature moves silently. The Nile monitor, one of the few creatures daring enough to challenge the Nile crocodile. This is Africa's largest lizard, capable of reaching lengths of up to 2.2 meters. They resemble miniature dragons, possessing muscular bodies, razor-sharp claws, and long, powerful tails. The Nile monitor is the savanna's ultimate triathlete. They sprint across the ground at blistering speeds. They scale trees with the dexterity of a monkey, aided by curved claws. And underwater, they swim masterfully, using their laterally compressed tail as a paddle, able to hold their breath for up to 1 hour. This versatility transforms them into formidable opportunistic predators and scavengers. But their absolute delicacy, and the reason they are the crocodile's public enemy #1, is eggs. Nile monitors are professional egg thieves. Mother crocodiles are devoted guardians, but they cannot stand watch 24/7. In the brief moment the mother slips into the water to cool off, the monitor seizes the opportunity. Using a hypersensitive sense of smell and a snake-like forked tongue, they pinpoint nests buried deep within the sand. With powerful forelegs, they dig in a frenzy, unearthing the nutritious eggs and devouring them whole. Scientists estimate that monitors destroy up to 50% of crocodile eggs each breeding season. They serve as a natural pressure valve, controlling the population of the dominant reptile. However, the life of a thief is never easy. If intercepted by the mother, the monitor is crushed in an instant. They live on the razor's edge of survival, relying on speed and cunning to exist in the shadow of giants. Against the deep blue sky reflected in the waters of the Sabi River, a resonant, high-pitched call rings out. It is the cry of the African fish eagle. For anyone who has visited Kruger, this sound is the quintessential voice of Africa. It evokes a sense of the wild, of freedom, and of majesty. Clad in chestnut plumage, with a stark white head and breast, the African fish eagle is the icon of the riverine skies. True to its name, their primary diet is fish. From a high perch, the eagle's keen eyes can detect a fish swimming beneath the surface from a great distance. They instinctively calculate light refraction to pinpoint the prey's exact location. The fish eagle's dive is an aerodynamic masterpiece. At the final second, they throw their talons forward, skimming the water's surface to snatch their quarry. Their feet are equipped with microscopic barbs called spicules. These act like Velcro, ensuring a firm grip on slippery, slimy fish. The African fish eagle can lift prey weighing up to 2 kilograms into the air. But if greed leads them to strike a fish too heavy, over 3 kilograms, they will not let go. Instead, using their wings as paddles, they perform a strenuous butterfly stroke to drag the catch to shore. However, fish eagles are also notorious pirates. They frequently harass other birds like Goliath herons or storks to steal their catch. They launch lightning-fast aerial assaults, forcing rivals to drop their prey in panic. Powerful, beautiful, yet full of guile, the African fish eagle is the undisputed lord of the airspace above the water. If the African fish eagle is the king of speed in the air, then the Goliath heron is the king of patience on the water. This is the world's largest heron, standing up to 1.5 meters tall with a wingspan of 2.3 meters. Towering amidst the river, they resemble ancient sculptures. The Goliath heron's hunting tactic is predicated on absolute stillness. They can stand motionless for hours in the shallows, golden eyes locked onto the water's surface. This patience helps them deceive even the most wary fish, leading prey to mistake their legs for dead wood. When the moment strikes, the Goliath heron's attack is as fast as a lightning bolt. The long, sharp beak, hard as a spear, plunges down to impale the water. Goliath herons frequently catch large fish, weighing up to 2 to 3 kilograms. However, catching the fish is one thing, swallowing it is another matter entirely. Because the prey is so large, the Goliath heron takes considerable time to maneuver and swallow it whole. This is when they are most vulnerable to piracy. The African fish eagle frequently targets the Goliath heron. Seeing the heron struggling with a large catch, the eagle dives down to attack. Though massive, the Goliath heron is lumbering and clumsy in the air, often forced to abandon its prize to save its own life. The Goliath heron is a highly territorial and solitary bird. Each individual governs a vast stretch of river, so their density in Kruger is very low. Encountering a hunting Goliath heron is a rare and precious experience for any nature photographer. They are icons of stillness, perseverance, and the melancholic beauty of the river. Leaving the bustling rivers of the south behind, we venture to the far north of Kruger, Punda Maria and Pafuri. This is the park's forgotten land, where the climate is more tropical and the vegetation denser. Vibrant yellow fever tree forests and ancient baobabs, thousands of years old, stand tall like sentinels. The scarcity of tourists transforms this place into a sanctuary for the shyest and most exotic species. Phantoms that very few have the chance to witness in a lifetime. Concealed within the dense riverine thickets of the Luvuvu River lies one of Africa's most beautiful yet most enigmatic antelopes, the lowland Nyala. This species exhibits the most pronounced sexual dimorphism in the antelope family. Females sport a radiant chestnut-orange coat with striking white stripes, resembling the fashion models of the jungle. In contrast, the male dons a dark, shaggy charcoal grey coat, crowned with proud spiraled horns. The Nyala is an extremely shy species. They rarely venture out of the thickets by day, remaining most active at dawn or dusk. But the most intriguing aspect of the Nyala is how they resolve conflict. Instead of locking horns in bloody combat like buffalo or wildebeest, male Nyala opt for a more civilized and artistic method. It is the tactic of lateral presentation, or in layman's terms, the puffing up display. When two males vie for territory or females, they parade parallel to one another. They erect the white dorsal crest along their spines to its maximum height. They move with a slow, exaggerated, high-stepping gait. The goal is to flaunt their body size, appearing larger and more intimidating in the eyes of their rival. This is a tense psychological warfare. Whichever male boasts a higher crest, a more imposing physique, and a more confident demeanor wins without spilling a drop of blood. The subordinate will automatically flatten his crest and quietly slink away. Only when two rivals are too evenly matched and neither backs down does violence erupt. In Kruger, the Nyala was once a rarity, restricted to the far north. But thanks to conservation efforts and habitat expansion, their population is thriving and gradually expanding southward. The presence of the Nyala is an indicator of a healthy and pristine riverine ecosystem. If the Nyala is a phantom, then the common eland are the titans of the antelope world. This is the world's largest antelope. A mature male can weigh up to 900 kilograms, equivalent to a Cape buffalo. With their massive bulk, large dewlaps and straight spiraled horns, the eland resembles an ox more than an antelope. In the culture of the San people, the Bushmen, the eland is a sacred animal. They frequently feature in ancient rock art, holding profound spiritual significance. Despite their gigantic proportions, the eland is an extremely shy and wary creature. They possess agility that is astonishing for their body weight. A 1-ton eland can effortlessly perform a standing jump over a 2-meter fence. When on the move, the eland herd emits a distinctive sound, a continuous click-click. This sound does not emanate from the mouth, but from their knees. The foreleg tendon slipping over the carpal bone creates a loud noise audible from hundreds of meters away. Scientists believe this is a form of internal communication signal. In dense thickets or the dead of night, these clicks help members locate one another. They keep the herd cohesive without the need for vocalizations that might attract predators. The frequency and volume of the click also reveal the size and fitness of the dominant male, serving to intimidate rivals. Elands also share an intimate symbiotic relationship with the red-billed oxpecker. Due to their vast surface area, the eland serves as a giant mobile restaurant for these tick-eating birds. However, their sheer size also makes them a prized target for lions. But taking down an eland is no easy feat. They possess immense stamina and a lethal rear kick. In northern Kruger, eland are typically nomadic, constantly traversing vast territories in search of browse and fresh grass. Encountering an eland herd lumbering majestically through the morning mist is a mesmerizing experience, evoking a primeval and wild Africa. In the shadows of the northern Mopane forests, the honey badger is a diminutive creature that possesses a reputation far more legendary than any giant. The Guinness Book of World Records has recognized it as the world's most fearless creature. Though weighing only about 10 to 15 kilograms, the honey badger possesses the attitude of the invincible. They are ready to confront lions, leopards, hyenas, or even buffalo if they stand in their way. The secret to the honey badger's strength lies in its skin. Their skin is extremely thick, tough, and possesses rubber-like elasticity. Lion claws, leopard fangs, or porcupine quills find it very difficult to penetrate this biological armor. Crucially, this skin is exceedingly loose-fitting. If a lion bites the nape of a honey badger, it can twist 180 degrees right inside its own skin. This allows it to turn back and shred the nose or eyes of the attacker with sharp teeth and extreme bite force. The second defense mechanism is chemical warfare. The honey badger has anal glands capable of spraying a foul-smelling and eye-stinging fluid potent enough to suffocate any predator. But what makes the honey badger a legend is its venom resistance. Their favorite food is venomous snakes, including cobras and puff adders. The honey badger's immune system has evolved to neutralize both neurotoxins and hemotoxins. During combat, the honey badger is frequently bitten. It may collapse, convulse, and fall into a comatose state for a few hours. But then, like a miracle, it wakes up, shakes itself off, and continues to finish the snake that just failed to kill it. The honey badger's intelligence also astounds scientists. They are among the few animals known to use tools. They know how to position logs to stand on and reach beehives, or use sticks to dig. In Kruger, honey badgers are solitary nomads, holding no fixed territory and fearing no one. Even hungry lions often choose to give a wide berth to this maniac, for the price to pay for such a small meal is simply too high. If the honey badger is an immortal warrior, then the pangolin is the armored knight of the fairy tale world of Kruger. Here, the most frequently encountered species is Temminck's ground pangolin. This is the only mammal on Earth wholly covered in hard scales. Pangolin scales are composed of keratin, the same material found in human fingernails and rhino horns. They overlap like roof tiles, forming an impenetrable suit of armor against the teeth and claws of predators. When threatened, the pangolin curls up into a tight, hard ball. The edges of the scales are razor-sharp, capable of slicing the mouth of any predator attempting to pry open this ball. The gait of the ground pangolin is a fascinating and rare spectacle. They are bipedal walkers, moving on their hind legs. The forelegs are tucked against the chest, with claws curled inwards to protect the sharp edges used for digging. The long, heavy tail extends backward to serve as a counterbalance. This posture makes them resemble a miniature T-Rex ambling slowly across the savanna. Pangolins are specialized ant and termite eaters. They possess no teeth. Instead, they possess a record-breaking tongue, which can exceed the combined length of their head and body. This tongue is sticky as glue, projected deep into termite mounds to lap up thousands of insects. Their stomach features a muscular structure to grind food, sometimes aided by small pebbles they ingest. However, the fate of this gentle and magical creature hangs in the balance, listed as critically endangered. The pangolin is the most trafficked mammal in the world. Their scales are relentlessly hunted for traditional medicine, despite having no proven medicinal value, and their meat is considered a delicacy. Kruger is becoming one of the last bastions protecting these earthen dragons. Strict security measures and modern surveillance technology are being deployed to thwart ruthless poachers. Encountering a pangolin in the wild in Kruger today is considered a stroke of rare luck. As the sun dips behind the northern ridges and darkness envelops the Porphyry forest, another world awakens. A world of wide, luminous eyes. The galago, also known as the bush baby. The name bush baby derives from their call. That call mimics the wailing of a human infant with uncanny accuracy, echoing eerily in the dead of night. These are diminutive nocturnal primates. Their most striking feature is their colossal eyes. The galago's eyes are fixed in their sockets, so they must swivel their entire head to look around. These eyes harvest every scrap of light, allowing them to hunt insects and navigate with precision in pitch darkness. Galagos are superb, long jumpers. The anatomy of the hind legs, featuring elongated tarsal bones, generates explosive leaping power. They can leap up to 2 to 3 meters between the thorny branches of acacia trees without ever getting a scratch. Their spatial awareness and reflexes are so fast they can snatch a moth mid-flight. A peculiar but vital behavior of the galago is urine washing. They urinate onto their palms and soles, then rub them together. This action serves 2 purposes. First, the urine improves grip on the skin when clinging to slippery bark. Second, it leaves a scent mark to define territory with every step they take. The galago's greatest enemies in the dark are the genet and the owl. The pursuit between a genet and a galago through the canopy is a spectacular aerial display. Both are agile, expert climbers and capable jumpers. The galago must employ unpredictable zigzag leaps to escape the predator's claws. Tiny, endearing, yet possessing elite survival skills, the galago is the playful spirit of the Kruger night. That is why Kruger stands as a vital ecological arena of South Africa. It is a living heritage, a last bastion where nature still operates according to the most primal laws. From the brutal war for dominance between lions and baboons on the Granite Hills, to the death races of the cheetah on the Satara plains, and the silent survival of rare species like the pangolin or nyala in the northern thickets. Every creature, whether predator or prey, is scripting its own epic saga. But whether this story continues rests with us. Kruger is facing unprecedented challenges: rhino poaching, climate change, and human pressure. Rangers and conservationists fight day and night in a silent war to protect every inch of this land and every life within it. Our collective concern and awareness are the most powerful weapons to preserve this treasure for future generations. In the great battle for survival at Kruger, which animal impressed you the most? The cunning intelligence of the baboon or the absolute power of the lion coalition? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this wild journey, don't forget to hit like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the heart of wild Africa.